Hello and welcome everybody to week 2 of the British and Irish Pro League. It's myself today, Yetta, doing a cast and a production, which we'll see how that goes. But along with me today is Doc. Say hello, Doc. You must have done well last week if I invited you back. Is he? Do you remember I? Do you remember I said?
Remember when you said that you needed to unmute that thing?
And we instantly forgot. He's not anymore. Honestly. I was just testing your chat.
Bit of audience participation, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Like I was saying, for those of you who didn't hear, yeah, good week last week. Couple of really good games. Hoping for more of the same. I think we're in for a decent one this week.
Well, yeah, fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. This looks like it could be quite a tight game, to be fair, both based on the standings and the qualifications, and from myself, just I guess what I know of the players. I know these players quite well, actually. So surprisingly, that wouldn't necessarily be true with all the matches, but I did some shot calling in EMC for both Steg and Quibz. And I've also played quite a lot with Lays. I guess Eggy's kind of the only one that I haven't seen much of myself, so I'm excited to see how they get on.
Yeah. Sorry, I just need to do the actual admin stuff. Yeah, it's going to be a tight one. I casted Lays last week, and he actually did surprisingly well. Almost came second, but lost out to a blue Barry in the end. But no, it's a good game. It was a very good game. So yeah, I'm interested to see whether he can challenge that first place against Steg, who obviously is the favourite, I think, despite his relatively poor performance last week.
Okay, and I've just noticed that they're going live after this warm up. So let's go into the map, starting this week on Sodade. I assume I'm saying that right, but honestly, I have no idea.
Not a clue. Yeah, right, wicked. I've got all of the admin stuff set up, so I am ready to go. So yeah, Steg, I think coming into this favourite. I think people people sort of know that he is probably the fastest one here on PBs and also on performances. But I think last week he had a bit of a mental slip, I guess. Apparently threw away the first place against Burnt Bagel. So it'll be interesting to see whether he can, really make a statement and get a solid first place this week.
Yeah, and I mean, based on what we saw last season in BIPL, the only thing that you can say about Div 2 is the consistency is in their inconsistency.
Yeah, as we already see that Quibz is 1.3 behind. Yeah, I think it's going to be an interesting one. I think Steg is... I mean, before last week, I would have said that he would be one of the more consistent ones, as you say...
As you say that.
Hits the wall! I would have said he'd be one of the more consistent ones. Like I say, he played at EMC, did pretty well in that.
Well, laced on the line. He sniped Eggy.
He did this last week. Sniping Barry a few times. I think he has been practicing that finish. So yeah, off to a good start for Laced.
Just to let you know as well, this is going to be a very biased chat, I'm pretty sure, for Laced.
I've seen a lot of Irish people in here, but Mono needs to get on cheering on the Scot.
That's true.
But yeah, like Steg throwing 5 rounds in a row to Bagels last week, so I think he could do with getting a decent start here to really, get a few wins under his belt, get the confidence up.
And I think based on the last round, making that mistake near the end when he was in first probably isn't going to help with those jitters if there's any hanging over from last week.
No. And I think possibly Lays is someone to keep an eye out on. He did very well last week. I think if he works on his consistency, I think that he could definitely challenge for the first place. He did very well. Reeled Blueberry back in, who had a fairly significant lead over him at one point. But as we say all of this, Steg is making it look very comfortable. Doesn't even push the outside line.
No, but there were mistakes, I think, from everybody in this round. Obviously, Steg making the smallest mistake But I think Quibz crashed the start, Eggy the middle, and Lays near the end. So
yeah, unfortunate for Quibz. Comes in as 15th or 16th seed, I think. So people probably not expecting too much of him. But I mean, you played with him in EMC, or did some shot calling in EMC. He's got it in the tank. It's just when can he pull out?
I'll be honest, I'm a little bit surprised because he was actually really consistent in EMC and he impressed me quite a lot. I would have, if you'd have asked me before the tournament started, I wouldn't have had him near the bottom of Div 2. I'd have had him at least mid, if not near the top.
Oh, right, okay.
And I think that there's been some other people that have been watching him during EMC were also saying the same thing. But there's a mistake out front here from Steg. He's still in with the running here, but he's got less speed than both Quibz and Lays. Although there's another mistake from Lays.
Made a mistake at the back. Oh, and Lays made... Oh,
he clipped. He's super close.
Quibz is going to take first here, but it's very close here. I think Eggy's made a bit more of a mistake.
Quibz had to release. And it's still super close at the top between Lays and Steg. He'll get the outside
push the outside. No, Lays is going around the outside. He's going to get more speed here. Is he going to clip the rail better? He does. And comfortably in the end. I think Lays just put some time in on this risky finish.
It does look like it. Steg went for a sort of a more outside line at the end to get more speed, but it just didn't seem to pay off. And there was a mistake as well from Quibz, who was in with the fight for that first place.
Yeah. I think this could be possibly, if Lays can keep this up, we're looking at. Oh, who's just done that?
Lays.
Lays. I'm saying nothing. I'm saying nothing else.
I'm not going to comment on Steg because he's asked me explicitly not to at the start of this game. Another mistake here from Eggy.
Eggy looking a little bit shaky on this map.
I think going into this, Eggy was 15th seed and Quibz was 14th. So I think the two of them were... I think Steg was definitely the out-and-out favourite based on rankings coming into this.
Eggy's hit the wall again.
So's Quibz.
Oh, God. It's easy points if you can just reach the end. Like, that's what everyone says about Div 2. Just reach the end, don't crash. And you'll pick up, 6 or 10 every single round.
Yeah, there's a lot of safing going on here.
Way, it's reverse cut mode. You'll pick up 0 or 2.
Yeah.
Or whatever it is.
Will they have enough speed here for the risky? Because there's been quite a lot of safing.
Whoa.
Quibz just about.
Clips the bottom. What sort of times are we seeing there? 59.2. I mean, that is safe.
I'm very glad I decided to get rid of my grinding stats and my times from the screen before we went into this.
As we good, we're going to head into Worm. So if you thought it was a little bit of a fiesta on KJ's map, then strap in, I guess. Because I'd say Worm is still definitely the hardest one of this map pack so far. I said that Saudade was the hardest one last week, and I received a little bit of backlash from Dansky. I think maybe it just didn't suit my style. So I think Worm is probably up there as the hardest one. It's unorthodox. It's unique. It's got a couple of odd bits that we're coming up to here on the warm up, where it's back down to basically first or second gear, and then you start again. So it's a strange one.
It is, and some mistakes on different parts of the maps will be really costly here compared to a lot of the other maps. If you make a mistake on the ice, that could be 3 or 4 seconds down, and it's pretty easy to make a mistake on ice, as I'm expecting you'll see on this match, to be honest.
Definitely, yeah. I mean, we saw a decent amount of them last week, even in Div 1, so I think there's definitely the potential for Div 2 to be a bit more of a fiesta, as we see Eggy messing up the risky finish on the warm-up.
Yeah.
But as you say, is a couple of tough bits on this map that will really, really rack up the time. Like the first drift is a very... it's tricky, but I think once you get the muscle memory, it's okay. But I think it's very much a deciding factor. If you mess up this first drift, you get some delicious gear soup through the next 2 turns. As we see, I think everyone's getting the gear this time round, but if you lose that gear, you've lost 0.5 to 0.8. Eggy has some interesting
lovely bit of airtime. Lay's had a very different line for this to everybody else I remember last week when I was watching this. He goes a lot more inside. Oh, Steg left the game. Admin.
We're too far into a round, I think. If it's near the start. And...
Quibz slid out as well. So it's all on Lay's here.
I think Laser's got a very big lead as well.
This is like 6-7 seconds plus.
He's still going to go for the risky.
It's close here between Quibz and Eggy. Will Quibz get the risky? He does. So yeah, about 6 seconds. Do you need to pause?
There is no pause function. I just have to keep on ending round.
Ah. All right. Well, let's just keep going, I guess, with the chatting. So I played a bit of the maps, you know, just to get a feel of them before the week. And what I was deciding to do is to just, you know, learn the map by driving them, not taking it too seriously, just figuring out the lines that I figured out, and then watching the world record afterwards. So I played this map for about an hour, and then I realised it was inside pole at the start.
Oh no. No.
Do you know how hard it was to keep
go outside pole, keep more speed, sure.
Yeah. Do you know how hard it was to keep that gear? Because the angle's worse. So I kept it like once or twice over the hour. I'm like, I've no idea how anyone's doing it. And then I watched the record and I was like, I'm not playing this map again.
Oh no. It is a tough drift. I mean, it's even tougher if you go outside the outside the pole, but yeah.
But who'd do that, right?
Steg in chat saying you can't connect. Oh dear. Well,
what have you thought of the match so far? Has this been going how you'd expect?
Almost. I think we were sort of expecting Quibz to end up near the bottom just based on his seeding position. Although I've got to say I'm a little bit disappointed with his consistency. Jesus, that's the word. I think it's. I don't think we're far enough in for it to start really panning out in the top 3 because there's only 9 points between them, I believe. So yeah, could get interesting over the course of this map. And hang on, Steg's back. Hey,
that's good.
He's in.
But yeah, I mean the rankings here are a little bit skewed because Steg was winning that round and obviously DNF'd, so he would be in the lead. It wouldn't be lazed.
Oh, of course, yeah.
So we've got that.
Even consider that.
Which would mean, I guess, that Quibz and Eggy would probably actually be a little bit closer. So
yeah. I think Lazed has got a bit of a reprieve then. I think it will want to take advantage of this.
He will indeed.
As someone drops the gear there, who's that? Is that Quibz?
Looks like it was Quibz
Yeah.
or Steg. They're pretty close.
Steg as well. And you can just hear the gears screaming away through that dirt turn. As Lazed is taking getting up to about 0.2 lead here.
But he does lose a lot of speed from the line that he takes there. That is a really wide line from Eggy. Is he going to be able to hold that?
Laser slides out. Eggy goes a bit wide here.
Crash from Quibz.
Sausage. Steg could be catching him back up here. Eggy's hit the wall. Steg is going to go into the lead.
Actually close for the finish here.
Ooh, within 0.1 in the end, but I think Eggy's going to be disappointed with that. He was gifted that on a golden platter, and he's thrown it away a little bit there.
He is. I think Lazed, after being ahead for the first time, is probably not going to be particularly happy either, losing 10 points.
No.
It's keeping it close, though. There's only 7 points in the top 3.
Yeah, and Steg takes back that first place.
keeping the gear this time.
Oh, someone's lost the gear again. It's Quibz again. I think he had to release in the exit, and it's just not good if you do that.
No.
Lays goes a bit higher on the dirt, gets more speed, and gets a very nice tight line through here. Less speed than Steg though.
He goes very inside. You can see how much he lost there to Steg.
Oh,
and
he slides out on the ice as well.
And so is Eggy a little bit.
Saved it. It's between second and third here. This is the closest battle. Lays probably overdrifts that a little bit, but so does Eggy.
It's a good line from Lays.
A good line into the dirt. Keeps the gear, and I think that's going to decide it between the two of them. Oh, he might even sneak first here.
He's got more speed.
He's got more speed. Oh,
what a finish there from Lays.
It's a good result in the end for him there.
It seems to be that the middle section for Lays is a bit of a problem, but at the end and at the start, he's got it on lock.
Yeah, I mean, to be completely honest, I don't really know too much about Lays. I assume he's not an ice player, judging by the fact that he slid out in every single round so far.
I think that's probably fair to say. It's still throwing me that they're not going outside pole. My brain is just broken.
What are these secret lines?
Yeah.
As Lays again has taken a bit of a lead, but we might see the same thing here where he goes too tight and Steg is going to get the extra speed.
Bad.
Similar lines, not too bad, okay.
A very bad line there from Eggy. He's all over the shop and doesn't have the right gear now, and he is off the ice completely.
Oh no. As Steg gets a bad ice exit as well, and then clicks the inside of the sausage.
He's still in with a chance though.
Lays must have clipped the inside.
Quibz is catching up actually.
Oh, and then I think Lays has possibly clipped the inside of that dirt hole as well.
Oh, big mistake from Quibz. And up front here, Steg can just about beat Lays, but who'll get third? Does Quibz have enough speed? He does. Eggy's at too far behind. Will Eggy finish? Yes, he will.
Finish. Yeah. Disappointing for the Split Academy player. Split. Is he Academy or is he?
I think he's Academy.
Is he Academy?
I think both him and Keenus are Split Academy. I could be wrong though. Please correct me in chat if I'm wrong. Oh,
yeah, we see the split
next
guy.
map. I can click onto the next scene. How exciting!
Oh.
Although I didn't put on the transitions for I explicitly excluded the transitions for these ones. And that's purely because I thought I'd forget at some point. Someone would remind me, and then it'd just transition in the middle of a round.
So we move on to Clueless. What is definitely, I'd say, the easiest of the three maps. It's got a couple of tricky sections, but they're nowhere near as punishing. So the first drift on this again is a little bit strange if you don't get the line up right. You can clip the outside of the pole if you try and push it a bit too hard, but you can instantly regain the gear on the next set of tarmac. So compared to the start of Worm, it's nowhere near as punishing. That uphill dirt there that we've just seen Eggy and Steg go up on the warm up. And also this downhill dirt section here can also be a little bit funky, but if you get them right, you can get a lot of speed, particularly on the downhill one, and on the uphill one, it's not the worst I've seen, but you can. It's fairly hard to keep that that gear on there. So we will see how it pans out as we go into the first round.
Indeed, we will. See if there's any difference here for Steg, or if he can keep his lead going through this map as he has with the other two.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see whether Quibz can claw some stuff back on potentially an easier map. If he's not sort of suited to the more traditional comp style. Well, I mean, Worm isn't traditional comp style really, but
mime style,
whatever that is. As I say that, he finds himself 0.2 behind. But he's catching up with Eggy here.
Mistake from Lays.
Is that Lays who's clipped the outside?
Eggy's got a lot of speed here.
Yeah, seems like he's put the time in on this map. Goes wide for the drift for more speed.
It's close between all three of them up front. He'll get a better outside dirt here to carry more speed through this section. Quibz has actually got pretty good outside dirt.
Eggy goes too tight on the uphill. Keeps the gear just about. It's not too punishing, but those very wide across here, and Steg is going to take the lead. And Eggy drops the gear, and you've got to say that that's going to be it. Unless there's any major issues in the drift. Can Quibz snipe? Whoa, nearly.
But as you've said, I think we can see that it's a bit of an easier map here. There was only one major mistake, and it was from Lays, and he still ended up a second behind. Definitely not as punishing.
Yeah, just a little clip from Lays, I think. No, he clipped the outside on that, on the second drift, I believe. Yeah, like I say, none of it's too punishing. It's not like there's the final sausage drift. If you mess that up, you can still make the risky finish. It's not like you mess up the last corner, you don't have to go for the safe finish. To the point where I don't actually even know where the safe finish is on this map. I haven't figured out where it is. I've played the map for about half an hour to figure out everything, and did not need it a single time.
I like the idea that you spend that half an hour trying to find the safe finish.
just completely lost.
Yeah.
As we see, there's a little bit of procession going on here. Everyone about 0.2 away from each other. But Eggy seems to be catching on Lays a bit. Drops the gear though, but Lays clips the outside. Or did he? Nope. Ignore me. I'm seeing things again. Lays with good speed out of this dirt.
This is one of the most processional rounds I think I've ever seen in Trackmania. What's happened there?
Everyone 0.3 apart from each other, pretty much.
0.4, 0.3, 0.2. There's like even a little even gap between them as well.
And probably I think they are in exact seeding order and in the exact predictions order as well. So if you've got that on your predictions, well done.
That's one of the rounds ever, I think it's fair to say.
Yeah.
Speaking of, Quibz making a mistake at the start, which is going to really lose him a lot of speed.
Pole on the drift, tries to push too hard to get extra speed. And then he clips the outside of the grass as well.
Oh, Lay's made a little bit of a mistake, just a bit of a bad angle coming off that. Now there's a half-second gap between himself and Steg.
It's a little bit processional again. Half a gap to first.
On the plus side, it's not in the order that they're in.
That's true, yeah. Eggy doing Quibz a favour here. He takes it very safe into that dirt. I think he knows that he's got the gap. Releasing on both of the dirts. Doesn't matter that he's lost the gear. He's still got a second.
Have to do this. There's no way that Steg's going to let this slip now. 0.7 lead up front.
Yeah, he's looking very comfortable.
There we go. The curse is broken. And he gets the fastest time so far, 58.7. It's not bad.
It's not too bad. No, not too bad.
I think that there's a bit of a gap opening at the top though now between Lays and Steg.
Yeah, there's it's just like in these rounds, there's a fairly consistent gap between all of them. It's about 20 points between each of them.
Yes, very true.
So I think it's going to take a sort of a streak of 3 or 4 rounds of someone consistently doing something over their opponent to break the deadlock between all of them. So
any mistakes.
Goes wide for the speed, and he carries it all the way through here. Goes wide on that plastic though.
He's got a lot of speed actually.
Yeah, Eggy seems to have that plastic section a lot better than Lays does, as he's actually taken over first here.
Oh, I think it passed by
Lays. But so does Lays.
Oh, mistake from Lays.
Oh.
And Steg has a lot of speed. He's chasing down Eggy here. Who's got the middle? Oh, Eggy touches.
I'm making the mistake of watching the stream instead of watching the game in-game, so I have a delay. Can't take my eyes off of the very nice BIPL assets that have been made.
Oh, they're good, aren't they?
Yeah. As we go all the way back around to the KJ map.
Way. Sorry, I just changed the number. I should have been going. Whoosh. Like hot swap.
I've got an advert. I can't see. So yeah, this was a map that Lays actually looked probably the best out of all of them on, I'd say. Possibly, apart from a few mistakes. He definitely had the last section down on it. I think, I could be misremembering, but I think he finished this map in first, just about?
I think it was very close between himself and Steg, and then Steg DC'd on the first round of the next one. So that's when
So he
Lays
got
passed him.
-12.
Yeah. So I think it was pretty close between the two of them. I will say the last map that we saw was definitely the most fixed, I guess, in the order and in terms of mistakes as well. I think Steg was definitely a head and shoulders above the rest on that.
Yeah, I think that's possibly part of the, well, not issue, but one of the sort of one of the things that comes out of it being a slightly easier map is that it does come a little bit down to raw pace, and you've got to say that Steg has got it over everyone else.
Yes, very true.
Then again, I say that everyone seemed to make mistakes every single round, so there were no pure pace close rounds. But yeah, we'll see how it pans out on this one. I think Lazed will be feeling confident here compared to Eggy.
And Quibz is theoretically in the danger zone on this map, could be at least.
Yeah, within 3 rounds he could be. Within 2 rounds if he doesn't finish one of the rounds, but
I'd hope that doesn't happen.
He could be, he could be in last chance.
Sort of a 2-pronged battle here, one up front and then one for 3rd and 4th. But as I say, that Steg gets pulled into the bottom battle.
Had to release not to hit the flag. Went too wide on the drift, but he seems to be pulling back a little bit here.
It's a good line from Eggy and a mistake from Lazed.
Eggy against Steg up front. Eggy gets a little bit of airtime. Steg with good speed out of that drift as well, but doesn't go too outside. If Eggy pushes it here, he might have more speed.
Oh, mistake there from Steg. And Eggy passes him on the line.
Eggy takes it. Oh,
I think he just clipped the inside on the way out. He seemed to lose a little bit of speed.
It's a good round there. Slow time, but a good round.
Mm-hmm. Well, Steg made a mistake, which is what let Eggy in the first place.
Oh, of course, yeah. My short-term memory is shocking that I couldn't remember that there was a mistake in the round. I thought they were just full safing.
Honestly, some of these mistakes are like so minor in what they look like. It's easy to forget. Like just a tiny clip. That was not a small one though. There from Quibz. Oh. He was going to a different part of the track that I've never seen before.
It is a tough start. That getting that sausage section at the start can be difficult, especially trying to get it full speed. So I can't blame him too much. But it looks like Eggy's made a mistake as well.
But Quibz is still too far back to capitalise, unfortunately for him.
Yeah, so it's between Lazed and Steg. Seems like they're staying about 0.3, 0.4 away from each other.
Almost got airtime there, Steg. It almost looks like
Lazed with a wonky line, but he gets a nice outside dirt hit.
He's got a lot of speed. I don't think it's enough to catch Steg, but it's close. No, Steg should have this.
Yeah.
In fact, he actually didn't gain over the end. That's kind of sad.
And 58.8 is not too bad of a time. That's the sort of times that we saw from bottom of Div 1 last week. So not too bad. Not too bad.
So Quibz now, it's important to note, is on 1 point.
Oh, yeah.
So regardless of what happens, well, unless he wins, actually.
Lazed has made a massive mistake. Yeah, Quibz has got to win this to stay out of last chance. I say that. He messed up that dirt turn.
Yeah, there was a big release there, I think. Eggy and Steg out in front. Steg's got 0.2 on him here.
Eggy goes wide, has to release a little bit.
Eggy has looked relatively quick. He's just made quite a lot of mistakes.
Yeah, it is. It's so he either makes, or he goes for some airtime there. Yeah, it seems to be on this map. He's kind of comfortable. It's just a culmination of a few little mistakes that add up to 0.6 behind Steg that he is currently. I'll say that Steg has lost quite a bit of speed there. Eggy gets the rail.
Can he? He can't get the risky.
Starts catching.
Oh, he just about can. That was super close. Lazed getting 4th actually, which means that's a big problem for him. So the way with the way that this mode works is you'll end up losing a lot more points when people start going out. In terms of everybody kind of has to lose points at that. You can't get -0. So you want to try and be within striking distance of someone else at the point where other people start going out.
Yeah. So, Quibz just made a mistake.
Lay's also made a mistake.
Quibz could survive. Oh, Laser's got a lot more speed, but Laze hasn't looked too comfortable in sort of the midsection of this. So
Quibz has more speed.
As we see there, Quibz has got a lot more speed. But yeah, Quibz has got a lot more work to do here. So
he's overdrifted that.
And he doesn't go too far outside. Has to release on the dirt, and he hits the outside. And then he gets a little bit of gear shenanigans on the plastic as well. Yeah, you got to think this might be it, unless someone's going to mess up the risky.
Oof. The person who's going to mess up the risky looks like it's going to be Quibz with this speed. Yeah, he doesn't even go for it. So we say goodbye to Quibz. It's unfortunate for him.
Yeah, I think he'll be a little bit disappointed there. There were some unforced errors, let's say. And he's ended up with quite a relatively big difference to second and third, both on 32 and 36 points, which you wouldn't really want to see because he was a similar sort of seed to Eggy. You'd want him to be getting up to similar sort of results to him. But it seems like Eggy's performing better than I thought it would be, because there was a 6 or 7 position gap in seeding between him and Lazed. But it seems like they're performing almost on par.
Yeah, very much so. I mean, the only real difference is it looks like Lazed is more consistent. I know the points probably don't tell the same story, but when Lazed has been making mistakes, they've been really big mistakes. Things like hitting the hole at the start or sliding out on the ice here. Whereas I think in general, he's been sort of keeping up with Steg a little bit more.
Yeah, there's definitely been more rounds where Lazed has challenged Steg compared to Eggy challenging Steg.
I see we're taking the warm-up as start as we mean to go on, as 2 people hit the outside dirt.
It's a tough entrance to get right. I think the line is to sort of jump into the corner of where the dirt sort of transitions and slopes from the checkpoint.
Yeah, I mean the way that it flings you out is it's obviously controlled. It obviously takes a lot of skill, but it always felt very random to me as a lower skilled player about where I'm going to actually land. So I can see why in Div 2 it's a bit more, you know, hit or miss whether you're going to get it.
Yeah. As we see everyone. Oh, actually, so Steg got the first gear. Oh, Lazed hits the wall. Steg, so it's going to be between Lazed and Steg at the back, and Eggy to see if he can bring home a round win. I can't remember the last time he got one, so
he's had a lot of issues on this ice, though.
Yeah.
Speaking of, by Lazed.
Lazed goes way too wide. It's unfortunate. He's looking shaky on this ice. He did the last time round, and it doesn't look like he's got his head together to do it any better this time.
I think Steg has been the only one that's been relatively consistent on the ice, and that's a clip if anyone wants to make that now. But Steg, does he have speed? He doesn't have speed. Oh, that was so close. I've crashed that finish enough to know when someone's lacking speed.
Yeah, so Steg on the last round kept the gear through the drift, but then lost it by going too tight on the grass, which is it's a simple mistake to make, but you would have thought with the amount of time that they must have put into this, and having played it last week, that you'd sort of design out those errors by this point. As Lazed is having a little bit of lag, I think I'm going to switch.
Yeah, so one thing to note though
goes
is
wide through the dirt.
He has been passed by Eggy at this point. Eggy's actually in second.
Oh, he has, yeah.
Oh, Eggy's having some lag now. Back to Steg.
Eggy, God. Boz, sort your servers out, man.
Maybe it's just lag switching from Lays to take the lead. I'm on to you, Lays.
Oh, he loses ground contact on the sausage, but Steg hits the wall.
Oh no, we have to watch
Eggy
one of the
comes
other two.
flying out of nowhere. And this could be an interesting end here because Lazed has got more speed from going on the outside dirt there, but goes super wide. And with a straighter line through there, he's going to take it.
And he hits as well. That was so close. That's a quite rare mistake from Steg. I think we haven't seen too much of that since he DNF'd that one round, I guess. But he's been in complete control. I think it's quite fair to say.
Yeah, it's a pretty commanding lead he's got at the moment. 50 odd points. If he finishes 50 points ahead, that's what we would be expecting from someone to. Oh my god, he's just hit the wall.
Steg is not my fault. I didn't do anything.
I was going to say that's the sort of result that you would expect from someone who's going to be challenging the for the Div 2 title. That's the sort of lead we saw from Charge last week and from Vig last week in the second cast that OC was doing. Vig was looking very, very strong, so I think could be interesting when Steg comes up against one of those two, whether he can keep his cool. We saw he sort of lost his cool a little bit against Bagels, who's you wouldn't say is one of the stronger contenders, so it'll be interesting to see how he does in sort of a tougher game.
Very true, but he's not out of this round, even with that big mistake at the start. Okay, he is now.
No, it ended up. It was closer than I thought it was going to be, though. At the end, 0.2 between all of them is not a bad round.
Tell you what, though, I wouldn't be expecting any mistakes on the ice from Bagels. I'll tell you that.
Nah, well, he said that he actually made a lot of them last week, which I was not expecting. But yeah, I thought, easy half a second over everyone else, get Bagels on that ice turn. But
the first time I watched any Trackmania esports, it was the World Cup where Mudder was performing in it, and every single time they mentioned Mudder, they went, "This map has ice. He's going to gain at least half a second on everybody else." It was the only thing that was ever mentioned about him. So,
and we see Steg is making up for his mistakes. Goes wide on the ice, just saves it. He's going to clip the inside there, though. Oh, no.
Laser's crashed as well, which is hard to tell with the lag, but Eggy's out
Doesn't
front.
lose too much speed. Eggy is out front by about 0.15 here. Lazed with an interesting line.
Good
I
line
think
from
Eggy's going to
Eggy.
get more speed.
Are we yet to release, though? Does he have enough speed? I assume he does.
Yeah. You can safe that turnaround quite a lot. So Lazed here going down to 13 points.
Yeah,
Eggy
but
with a little bit of a cushion now.
Steg is doing his best to reduce his lead, it looks like.
He's trying to make it one for the fans. Get it nice and close.
So the gap has only been reduced to the mid-30s now from 50.
Yep. That's all it takes. When someone's eliminated, all it takes is a couple of bad rounds, and then you're not as far ahead as you thought you were going to be.
Worryingly for the other participants, though, that was Steg's worst map so far.
Yeah, and you've got to say that this is probably his best one, judging
Yeah.
by the fact that he has a PB that is 0.7 ahead of everyone else at this moment.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, a local PB. Not too sure about his actual map PBs. That's something I can do. I'll check on TMX.
Let's go.
Yeah, I'm going to be the professional cast. I am wearing a suit. I've got to be.
Yeah, me too.
Full
Me
on.
too.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Regardless of what OC says. Oh. I know it's warm up. I'm not cast. That doesn't count as a
Don't
cast.
cast the warm up.
That wasn't a cast. I just got excited. Oh. Where did Lace go?
So again, within 2 rounds, we could see.
There's got to be a -10 each round. So unless Steg is getting all of them, we're pretty likely to see at least one person in last chance.
We could potentially see both Leggy and Sazed. Leggy, Seggy, and Lazed in.
Leggy and eased.
Leggy and Eased, yeah.
I've been called a liar from Breakbeats. I don't know what I've done to deserve that, but
it's a tracksuit, isn't it?
Yeah, that's true. The suit of the streets. Pretty close between all three of them.
Yeah, Eggy looks like he's stepped it up in the second half of this match, which is good to see.
Lays is safe in quite a lot here.
Yeah, he's got to start pushing here, otherwise he could find himself in last chance soon.
Or was that a mistake from Steg on the exit? He's lost a lot of speed.
So Lay's within touching distance. Goes
and then he did.
God. It's that section is tougher than it looks. I know I said earlier it's relatively easy, but it's one of those ones where if you go too tight, then you sort of get flung out to the side. Whereas if you go full outside at the start, it's much easier to stay on the outside. Steg asking what he clipped. You're asking the wrong people. I haven't got...
It looked like he clipped sort of the top of the, sort of like the edge of the wall as he exited, like right at the end. It's kind of hard to describe, but. Oh,
they all get a decent line through the dirt. I think they all kept the gear there.
Looks like it.
Lazed finds himself 0.2 behind though.
Yeah, with a decent run as well. It's not like, okay, that's not so decent, but up until that point, it was pretty decent.
So I found the map on TMIO. Lazed hit the wall as I do this. So yeah, PB wise, we find that Steg has got a 58.1 as his PB. So even his best time in rounds is quite a way off of this. As we see, has Eggy touched the wall somewhere?
No, Lays touched the wall. Eggy just couldn't keep up with Steg. That was a pretty fast round from Steg. In fact, that was also Eggy's fastest time on this map. So,
Steg with a 58.6. Okay, so he's half a second off his PB.
Lays is in last chance.
Lays is in last chance. I think he'll be disappointed with that.
I think he will as well.
58.4 is his PB, so I think he's still performing much lower than what he would be hoping for here.
Eggy with the really outside line.
Is Eggy doing surprisingly well considering this PB wise? I think is probably his weakest map. He doesn't even have the AT here. Come on, Eggy, step it up. 58.8 is his PB.
Oh, Lays, is that a mistake? It's definitely a bad line. He's lost a lot of speed.
Yeah.
And Eggy's quite good on this middle section.
Tight on the drift, so he's not going to have as much speed here. But he does get a nice line through the dirt. And it's close round this. Goes 2 inside. He's going to drop that gear. I think the 2 others have kept it. Good line through the plastic, though, which Eggy doesn't have. But Lays risks it a lot there. He has to release on the exit, and then he messes up the drift.
And that is goodbye to Lays.
Yeah.
Oh, and speaking of... Oh, no, he didn't get 80. He got a 58.8. But that's pretty close to 80.
That's his PB. That is his PB.
Well played to Eggy. All right, round 4.
And you've got to think that Eggy's just going to mop this up.
Eggy?
No. Sorry, did I say Eggy? I meant Steggy.
All right.
Steggy's
Steggy versus Eggy.
Eggy is seems to be holding his own so far in the round. Keeps the gear through there. Gives himself a 10th lead. Goes very wide. He's going to get a wonky line a bit here. Oh, no, saves it. Saves it. He's got a 0.3 lead now.
Oh, it's down to 0.1. Yeah.
I think it's all going to come down to this uphill dirt, which Steger's looked better on. Eggy goes for a little brake tap, and he loses the gear, and Steger's going to get more speed through here. Eggy with a better line through the plastic.
Oh, he
touches the wall. Risks too much. And he finds himself in last chance.
He does indeed. So, by my calculations, he needs to win a lot of rounds.
Yeah. 5 in a row, which isn't unheard of. For,
7 in a row, I think.
7 in a row. I'll course you a last chance and then, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Steg did it last week. He lost 5 in a row. No, I wouldn't. I'm not a betting man. I wouldn't bet it. Oh, as he says in the chat, he surely wouldn't throw 2 weeks in a row.
Well, I mean,
you'd hope not.
he has said it now, so it wouldn't be as like karmically funny, I guess, if it happened. Oh, but Eggy has now said you've got it. Although this warm-up isn't convincing, I'm not gonna lie.
He's getting all the crashes out now.
Oh, that's smart. Oh, so Steg, you have the same idea.
Oh, NMC guy in the chat. How was your game? You had a tough competition against, was it Vig and Padsta? Right. We are heading into what could be the last round.
Could indeed. Then I'll have to do production things. So let's go, Eggy. Let's keep it going.
Keep it rolling, Eggy, please. Oh, Eggy with a bit of a dodgy line, but salvages it. Oh no! Oh no, Eggy! Now he's relying on the Steg throw. Surely not 2 weeks in a row.
Well, Steg.
Scottish internet.
I think he's relying on the Steg internet going more than anything else.
Oh, mate, Eggy's made another mistake. 7 seconds down. Steg not with the cleanest round. Not gonna lie, I had to release a bit there.
He probably knows. Yeah, he's just released and he knows. He's got this. I think he's bearing in mind last week and going, you know what, I'll take it.
Yep.
That's a GG.
God, I've got to do the bloody admin thing and I can't remember what the command is.
Well, I'll take us back to the 2 caster screen.
Hey, there we go, I did it.
And you look very happy about it.
Yeah. Good to be here. No, it was a good game in the end. It's a good game.
It was.
It could have been a bit closer. Although I think I think Eggy will be very happy with how it turned out in the end. I think that was the main fight that everyone was expecting was going to be 2nd and 3rd. And so I think he's done well there to pick up a 2nd place when I think a lot of people were expecting him to take just the 2 points for coming. 2 points for coming 3rd. Yeah. So. Relatively commanding from Steg.
Yeah, I think that was kind of expected. I think there was a little bit of a question mark after last week and what happened, but quality shows through in the end. He ended up where he was expecting to end up. I thought, to be honest, it would be quite close between the other 3. I think I put my prediction on Lays to come 2nd, but to be honest, I can't 100% remember. But I thought it would be close between the other 3. I'm a little bit disappointed with the fact that Quibz was ended up a bit further away than the other 2, but it was still a good fight between Lays and Eggy, though. Yeah,
I think. It's a little bit disappointing that it turned out that the fight that we were expecting was the fight that we got. I think you would want Quibz to do a bit better than he did, which is unfortunate for him. He's definitely, like I said before, he's got it in the tank. It's just the consistency that he needs to work on. I don't know whether it's just that he needs to get more time on the maps, or if it's just that he hasn't played too much competitive Trackmania. But yeah, it's plagued him throughout the game because he was looking comfortable on most of the rounds, and then there was just a couple of mistakes, and then It's done for.
Yep.
It's done so.
Again, though, that's kind of Div 2 in a nutshell, isn't it? Everyone looks like they're cool, calm, collected, they know what they're doing, and then all of a sudden there's a mistake and you go, well, unexpected, but what can you do?
Yeah. As I think we possibly could be getting Steg on for an interview.
Oh, very exciting. Guess
I can figure out how to do it. I'll ask Chris. Chris knows everything. Oh, interview waiting room. He's already there. He's already got it.
How exciting is that?
Click and I can click and drag him in. Okay, are you ready to receive Steg?
Yes, although I will tell everyone in advance, I don't have the scene set up properly for it, so it's just going to be us two still here, but with Steg talking in the background.
Hey, Steg, how you doing?
Yeah, not bad, you?
Not too bad, not too bad. Good performance today. Very well played.
Yeah,
you happy with how it turned out?
Yeah, it was okay. Could have been better. It was a bit shaky at bits, especially that second round of warm. I just did not get running.
Did it get in your head a little bit when you DC'd and couldn't get back in?
Well, I thought the whole server died, so I wasn't too worried initially. And then I opened the stream and saw guys were still players. Like, fuck.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that you lost 12 points there, and I suppose it gave Lazed a chance to he took the lead for a bit there. So yeah, any thoughts on the maps? Any thoughts on the new map? How are you feeling on Clueless?
Yeah, not too bad. It's kind of hard to be consistent, be fast every round, especially that last dirt section. Getting the setup for it, just
the downhill dirt.
The uphill dirt, sorry, yeah.
The uphill dirt. Ah, right,
yeah.
Okay.
How did you clip that one round? Do you have any idea?
I have no idea. I swear I wasn't even near the wall.
Just the magic of TM.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that puts you in a decent position.
I'll bring up the table.
Yeah.
In terms of the overall standings, we've transitioned. We've made it.
We have.
Yeah, that puts you in a decent position. So picking up a 4-pointer there puts you up to 7. Have you got any expectations for the season? Anywhere you want to end up?
Hopefully just like top 4 maybe. At least get where I seeded at least. Maybe try and win, but I doubt it.
I don't know. With a performance like that, I think you'd.
Yeah, but I probably need to win every other game now, I think.
Yeah, is there anyone that you've singled out as a potential, someone who's strongest?
I feel like Veg probably. Seems strongest.
Yeah.
I'm surprised he was Div 2 actually. Last week. I would have thought he'd be Div 1.
Yeah, I mean, in his game last week, I don't know how he's done this week. Oh, he's won. Okay,
yeah.
I'm just looking at the results. Yeah, he was putting in times that were probably sort of low Div 1 type times. So yeah. Do you know when is it next week that you come up against him?
Yeah, next week. Yeah.
Right.
It's like Rebel and Dansky.
Oh, you got the Dansky. Okay. Nice.
We've got a little bit of an update of the table from the results that have come in now. So you can see that there's you're in 3rd place with Vig behind Vig and Sean. So how do you feel you played consistency wise today? Because obviously I was with you during EMC, and I think there were some matches where you were very consistent and were first place most of the time. There were a couple of other weeks where it was a little bit shakier. How are you feeling in BIPL in terms of that aspect?
Like this week, probably a lot better than last week. Last week was a bit all over the place. I knew I had the pace this week, so I was just kind of chilling a lot station. So it wasn't really too bad.
Were you looking at the rounds? Were you looking at where you were and how much of a lead you had? Because there were some points, for example, that last round, where you could sort of tell that you were safing and taking other positions into account. Was that the case sort of throughout, or did you just sort of do it by feel?
Yeah, well, I usually play HUD off, but I still look at the number on my car, so I usually know by that, and I know if I've had a good start, so then I know and just chill if it's first. So yeah.
So next week it will be Worm as the first first map on rotation. Are you thinking you might put in a few more hours on it, or have you
I'm
got
usually
the?
fine on Worm. Worm was my best map last week, and I usually don't struggle with it. But yeah, I don't know what happened. One of those.
Well, I don't think anyone could blame you with the disconnect. It gets in
Yeah.
your head.
Yeah.
But I don't know. No, it was a good performance. Any? Were you surprised by? I mean, Eggy seeded quite low and then played very well. Is there anyone that you've come up against so far that's sort of surprised you with how they played?
Not really. Mostly kind of expected. I expected Eggy, I can't speak, Eggy to do well, so not really that surprised.
Fair enough. Yeah. Fair enough.
All right. Do you have any
Anything else
shout outs that you want to give out to anyone? You've got
Nah,
some
not
love in the chat as well.
Oh, thanks, guys. I don't know why you support me, but thanks.
What do you mean? Of course, I mean to support you.
And there you have it from Steg.
No, very well played. Very well played.
Thank you.
So yeah, looking forward to next week then. And next week you're coming up against Vig, and then do you know who else?
Dansky and Rebel.
Dansky and Rebel. Oh yeah, of course you've already said. God, my memory is awful. Okay, so do you think you'll do well in that? I mean, you've got to back yourself against Dansky.
Yeah,
and Rebel,
I'm going to win by a minute. Have a perfect game, no round losses, win easy.
Yeah, no sliding out on the ice or anything. Yeah.
Right, I'll make a note of that and I'll put that in my predictions for next week.
Right. I might have to excuse myself for a bit. I need to set up the other map. The other match, sorry. So
All right, no problem. Okay, I guess we will go for a few minutes break then. Thank you very much for joining us, Steg. And again, best of luck for next week and for the rest of the tournament.
Thanks, guys. See you later.
Right, thanks a lot. Bye-bye.
See you later. Well played.